Shalom, call Haloyim Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. I want to read through this article really quickly because they're breaking down what hyperinflation is. And they're also telling us a few different situations that could happen, or really what happens, what occurs in society due to hyperinflation. So just want to read this and grab maybe 2 or 3 relevant precepts. And Lord's will, this is edifying to the elect. So this is from Forbes.com. It says, don't think hyperinflation can happen in the U.S. Not so fast. It says, when a currency loses purchasing power at a rate greater than 50% per month, it is said to be experiencing hyperinflation. So the term hyperinflation is based on the purchasing power of a currency. When it begins to be devalued, basically it's losing purchasing power greater than 50% per month, then now that society, that country, whatever, is in a state of hyperinflation. So it's a devaluing of the currency. During such episodes, the essential role of money in binding society together, often unnoticed in stable times, becomes strikingly clear as civil order is strained or even shattered. And of course that makes sense. The dollar is being the dollar. This currency is being devalued, so now people are going buck wild because they can't purchase things anymore for a good price. The breakdown of the monetary system leads to widespread economic turmoil, affecting every facet of daily life, from the affordability of basic goods to the stability of institutions. In the most serious cases of total currency collapse, civil unrest and even violence become prevalent among a population desperate to acquire the necessities to survive. And obviously, certain precepts should start flowing through your mind right now, right? If you're studied. I know a lot of you bros and Akwath are just new, just coming in, but we'll grab the relevant precepts, really just 2 or 3 for what we're reading. It says, although the United States has faced severe inflation in its history, it has never endured hyperinflation. However, it would be incorrect to assume that Americans have no experience with it, as many immigrants or those who spend significant time overseas have lived through such periods, right? But the average everyday American that's born here maybe have traveled, but Americans travel, they're going to places for vacation that are quote unquote good or stable. These people don't know about hyperinflation. They haven't lived through hard times. A lot of people haven't really struggled. They're not prepared for this. They're not. And that's why we bring articles out like this, because more than likely this is going to happen here in Babylon the Great, especially when we read precepts like 2nd Esdras 15, which we're going to get Lord's will. But an economic collapse will happen here. The dollar will be devalued and then no more. So hyperinflation more than likely will kick in before all that happens. That's where you're going to get civil unrest, society breaking down, violence being a lot more prevalent. And that's what this article is saying. It says people often immigrate to the U.S. driven by problems in their home countries, and many of these problems have a common root cause: broken money. It says nobody knows this better than my friend. What? Okay. Nobody knows this better than my friend Tony Yazbek, who endured Lebanon's hyperinflation a few years ago and lost his life savings. Let's jump down. Living through a currency collapse is not something anyone wants to experience. In Lebanon, I went from a successful entrepreneur enjoying early retirement to waking up with only $70 to my name almost overnight. Just done. Probably rent or his mortgage went up. The price of goods obviously skyrocketed. Groceries, food, that skyrocketed. Gas, everything. To where he's like, yo, I have no more money. I'm done. It says when your currency fails, society completely falls apart and the consequences are extreme, says Yazbek. And that's it. The article is actually really, really good. I read a lot more, but that's the main point. If I keep reading, I'd just be giving you certain facts about hyperinflation that happened in different countries and what they went through. But Lord's will, I'll post the article, and bros can read through it if you guys want. This was a good paragraph. In 2019, Lebanon's economic crisis erupted due to decades of monetary expansion, corruption, and political instability. Is that not what we're seeing right now in the U.S.? Absolutely it is. By 2020, the Lebanese pound had lost more than 80% of its value, and inflation soared above 85%. The Lebanese pound wasn't worth nothing. Nothing. So you know what happened there. Second Esdras 15 happened there, which is what's going to happen here in Babylon the Great, which is America on a very, very large scale. So Second Esdras 15, verse 14, this is an end-time prophecy referring to America, what's going to take place. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. The word woe represents some form of destruction or calamity. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight, that's violence, against another, and swords in their hands. Now you have to understand that when Ezra saw this vision, he saw people with a modern weapon. Of course, the modern weapon today is the gun, but there was no word for that in his time. Ezra lived during the time of the Medial Persian Empire. So he used the word to best describe the weapon that he saw in his vision, which is a sword. So he saw people fighting, he said, with swords in their hands, meaning with guns in their hands. That's what Esdras was talking about. So violence, like the article said that we read. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So when there's civil unrest or societal collapse, whatever you want to call it, when the currency is being devalued, you can't even afford food anymore. A bottled water costs 20, 30, 40 bucks, something crazy like that. Of course, nobody's going to listen to their government, because now the faith and the hope that people had in their government all of a sudden goes to nothing, goes to zero. It's on the ground. So why would you listen to them? Your kings and princes, aka your government officials, your president, your senate, your elected officials. So the course of their power or their actions will stand in their power. So whatever people want to do is what they're going to do. People are going to say, hey, I need to survive. If that means taking this gun that I bought and running up in somebody's house and threatening them so that my family can eat, they're going to do it. That's the time that we're coming into, and hyperinflation is going to take us there. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword or the gun, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, that's famine, and for great tribulation. So hyperinflation is going to take us there. And remember, the end goal of the Edomites, the elite out of the nation of Edom, their goal is to put a CHIP inside of the entire world. That is the mark of the beast. I'll say that phrase. The CHIP, the micro CHIP, is the mark of the beast. That's Esau's goal. If there's hyperinflation and the dollar is devalued, then all of a sudden you have a society that's that's in an anarchy type of state. and anarchy means no rule. So now Esau can bring in his solution and say, everybody take this CHIP and we'll give you some money, whatever the currency will be at that time. It's going to be something digital, obviously. Now you can eat, your family's going to be okay, we'll give you shelter. That's the overall goal of why Esau Edom more than likely is going to create this state of hyperinflation and this state of economic collapse. But at the end of the day, it's prophecy and it's the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is Jeremiah 51 verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Now Babylon right here is referring to a future Babylon, which is Babylon the Great, which is America. So we're reading an end time prophecy right here, yes, in the Old Testament. It says, howl for her, take balm for her pain. Balm is a healing ointment. And basically it's referring to the economy of America, of Babylon the Great. It's going to be in such a state where it needs help. But no aid is coming, no help is coming. America's in so much debt. There's no kind of stimulus policy, no kind of political structure and ties that can be put in place to make this place go out of the state of debt that it's in. To go back to the glory days is not going to happen. So this is all rhetorical, is what we're reading. Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. But it says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So this place is going to be destroyed. It's not going to be healed. It's not going to go back. It doesn't matter who becomes president, Biden, Trump, your great-grandmother. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to be able to heal Babylon from the economic, political, and monetary stress that's about to destroy this nation. So the judgment reaches unto heaven. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to destroy this place. And that's why the Bible talks about World War III. World War III is going to happen, and Babylon the Great, America, is going to be completely destroyed by nuclear missiles, along with the chariots from Yahushai when he returns, and the rest of the holy angels, and they're going to completely destroy this place. All right, so we're hopefully, looking for salvation, meaning to be delivered from that great destruction. But before it, you're going to have this time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, which is what the Bible calls it. And hyperinflation, more than likely, is going to take place, and it'll get us there. So that's it. I don't want to make this any longer. I'm only at 13 minutes, but that's fine. I want to keep it around 10-15 minutes. So there's a few more precepts, that you can get going into the collapse of this place, but the point has been made. 2nd Esdras 15 goes all into what will happen due to hyperinflation, and of course other occurrences as well. Who knows what it's going to be? That really takes us there, but it's going to be some kind of event that gets us there, and that's what we're hoping for, because we need this place to go down in order for Yahushua to return, deliver the elect, and for righteousness to reign here on earth. So call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Lord's will, this is edifying to the elect. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.